This is Arts Alive. I'm Lynda Philippi. My guest is John Stromme, who is a very prominent local artist and a fabulous painter. So welcome, John.
Thank you. Nice to be back.
I love to see all the images that you put on your Facebook page. I'm always amazed at what a great painter you've evolved into being. I mean, I think you were good when I first met you, but I think you're even better now.
Oh, thank you very much.
What do you think?
I hope so.
Okay, good.
You're bound to get better.
Well,
if you just keep doing something,
yeah,
hopefully we all improve.
So tell me what you're up to beyond some of the things that we've noticed, which is like the sign that you did over by the 1882. What is it? The Bob Emmerich building.
Yeah, well, actually, it's the Phil Frischmuth building.
Okay, the Phil Frischmuth.
It's owned by his business is Wild Haven Properties.
Okay.
And he's the one that hired me to do it.
To do the outdoor thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
the Klein Chevrolet.
Right, but it's
reproduction.
such a nice. I don't know, such a nice image, and the fact that you've cleaned it up and sort of restored it, I guess, to its former glory.
I was really happy with the way it turned out. It had some challenges. I wanted to, the first thing I wanted to do was just take what was there, which wasn't much, and add to it, but it wasn't possible because of the placement of the Chaos building. As well as they had changed the roof line because there had been a rubber roof added, and that made it pretty much impossible. So the best I could do was reproduce it.
Okay, well, anyway, I think it adds a lot.
Thank you.
It's very eye-catching driving into town. Yeah.
It was a fun project. I really enjoyed doing it.
And what else? What else have you been up to?
Well, in the process of that. I first heard of that job from Shan and Lori Stassens. Lori, right? Mm-hmm. And anyway, so I got hooked up with Phil, and in the process of that, I ended up renting a gallery space from him.
Okay.
And so I opened a gallery. And
in the courtyard?
In the courtyard.
Right.
Of the 619 building, the Bennett building.
On 3rd Street.
Yeah,
in McMinnville.
right across from Tommy's.
Right.
And that's been great. It's been keeping me real busy. And then I started, when I got there, the courtyard just needed some work. It was, it just needed facelift. And so I started working with Phil and just talking him into one thing after another and changing the fluorescent lighting to warm lighting.
To anything but fluorescent?
Yeah, exactly. And so did that, and then painted a mural in there.
Oh, and we have some images, I believe, of that mural. If Mr. Music will pop them up.
Yeah, so this is that image right there. That's how the wall looked. Now imagine that wall with fluorescent lighting. And, fluorescent lighting has this quality of making people look like warmed over death.
It's true.
And
the circles under your eyes.
It's just terrible.
Yeah, it really is.
And so there's the lighting that was changed, and it's hard to see in a photo, but it's actually quite warm lighting. And this wall that building was built in 1915, so it's a beautiful old building. It was first Klein Chevrolet, and they didn't survive the Depression. But anyway, wanted to get rid of that white wall. And so at first what we were going to do is sandblast it down to the used brick. But it's lead base.
Ooh.
And I didn't want to be exposed to that because no matter how well you cover up, they say it mostly affects kids, but I'm kind of a kid at heart, so. And anyway.
You value your health in any case.
I just couldn't bring myself to do it, so I told Phil, I says, I don't really want to do that.
No.
I says, how about this? How about if I paint it? And you can see in this image, there's a little swatch down in the end there. And that was how I showed him, hey, I can do it like this.
Oh, I see, right.
So I repainted all the bricks to be as used bricks.
And I think we have some photos of that as well.
Yeah, I think that's the next image.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So that's the way it turned out. And And
How
then
long did it take you to do that?
7 days.
Wow, that's really fast.
It's a lot of bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved pretty good for an old guy. So
Obviously, you've developed some sort of technique beyond
I
doing
have
them one at a time.
I have recovered
Yeah.
and come back. So that's what that was about.
Okay.
And
Really changes the look, doesn't it?
yeah, and this image is the beginning of the mural that I painted in there. And this one was something I did as a promotion to promote my mural work. And so what you're seeing is the rough in. And so that's basically just the rough drawing of that.
So is that how you typically work in a large space like that? You kind of do the broad strokes of just to get the proportions right? And
Kind of all paintings are kind of that way. You know, you get the basic rough in, you know, with broad strokes, just as you said, and then you just keep refining it until it's finished.
Okay.
And so this is the progression of the mural. I think it's by days, and then I got lazy. I didn't take all the photos I should have, but you can see it as it's progressing to the last image down on the right. And then probably the next image shows the finished product, I imagine. Oh, these are detail shots. The tricky thing about this was that this is on all horizontal lines, right? Because it's a brick wall.
Right.
So I'm painting a three-dimensional image on horizontal lines with a lot of texture in them. And so that was the overall challenge of that project.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
And then this is another detailed shot. And I was trying to capture the three-dimensional, you know, form of the rocks.
I think you did a great job.
Well, thanks. And there's the finished image.
That looks great.
So this is a image of Bale, Croatia, and it's an actual neighborhood. It's about a 3.5 mile radius neighborhood. And I painted it kind of tunnel-like because I wanted to pull the eye and have people feel this longing to walk into it. But in actuality, between each one of those arches, light actually comes down there. And yeah, people live there. It's a neighborhood.
Now, when you were in Croatia, did you take the
I
photos?
wasn't in Croatia.
Oh.
I have friends that are in Croatia that are artists that I've met on Facebook.
Oh, I see.
So they keep me supplied
with
yeah.
photographs and things like that. Oh, that's amazing.
So it's on my my list.
Your bucket list.
Yeah, that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So this is the Klein Chevrolet sign. You can kind of see the rubber roof as it turns over. You can't really see, and that image there, the sign would have actually been further over to the right, past that chimney looking thing, and it just would have been blocked. And of course, the owner, Phil, you know, wanted something that would show and be seen and look nice and not be hidden by a building.
So it's historically accurate, just tweaked a little bit.
It's very accurate. Yeah, it's. I think it's as accurate as it can be under the circumstances. There was two options. That logo down at the bottom, the Associated Gasoline logo, is it was painted that way. That was the last way it was painted. But prior to that, it actually had a Shell emblem on there.
Okay.
But you know, Shell's kind of old news. Everybody knows about Shell gasoline. Right. And but Associated Gasoline doesn't exist anymore. They were absorbed or something. And so they elected to go with that, which I think was a really good choice.
Right. It's more artsy and less commercial.
And it's kind of got the neat icon in the center. It says something like more miles to the gallon, which, you know, we don't talk like that anymore. We say more miles per the gallon. So that was kind of interesting, and it was just I think it was, and it also matched Bob Emmerich's building better too. So that was a win.
Kind of, yeah, just kind of period. It all ties in really nicely. And what's interesting is that it was hidden for so long by the other building when the glass shop
Almost
was
90
there.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course when they tore down that building, when Bob did his project, there was this partial of what was left, which was mostly just the bow tie, the Chevrolet bow tie emblem. And it was in pretty rough shape.
Yeah, I think it's, yeah.
But you know, there was enough there to, I was actually, at the time when I first found out about it, had an injury that I was, it's kind of keeping me out of work and off the streets, so to speak. And so I had time to study it. And I worked with Tom Cottrell from the, do you know Tom? From the Historic Museum.
Okay.
And he provided me with the historic images. And then from there, you know, I kind of pieced it together and figured out what it was, you know, what it had been.
So beyond the big things like this, the murals and the painting on buildings, you also do a lot of paintings.
Yes.
And you do a lot of scenes of McMinnville.
Yes, quite a few.
Yeah. Did you bring any of those with you or no?
No, they're not in this. I think we'd run out of time, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've done quite a number of them. I have images of Ford, 3rd and Ford, the intersection. I have ones of a 1932 photo of what was on the corner before Bob built his building. And let's see, what else? You know, just various images of 3rd Street.
Right. And you do commission work as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that keeps me pretty busy.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. Yeah, the gallery's been really good.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's nice that people can find you and not just a website and a phone number, if they can actually walk in and speak with you themselves.
Yeah.
But you were over at the granary, where the grain station is now.
Yeah.
You were there for quite a long time.
I was there for about 3 years. Yeah. And then, of course, you know, that went away.
Right, and then you were just kind of working from home.
Well, then Eddie Johnson invited me to paint about 4,500 square foot of mural with him at the Yamhill Valley Vineyards.
Oh, that's right.
In fact, yeah, we did a thing on that, I
Right,
think.
yes, okay.
And that was kind of my introduction to murals, and Eddie sort of taught me the ropes. He was really good at layout and
that big perspective thing.
Yeah. And then he had this idea of painting somebody into the wall.
That was great.
And that ended up being on. We got a front page article.
Yeah,
on
where the
that.
guy burst from.
So he had that idea, and I said, okay. So we did it, and it turned out really good. And you know, that's been a really nice fun. That was a huge job. And then in the process of doing all that work, I started having some problems, and that took me out of things for a while. But
well, John, we're out of time, and it's great to catch up with you as always.
Thank you.
And
It was wonderful to be here.
I love to see what you're doing next, because you're always a guy that's full of surprises. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.